Did you buy the contents of this? Everybody saw in my last video quite the hoard of old vehicles. They've been sold at auction. I'll show you what I bought, what Joe bought, what I helped people load, what I helped people haul. Not necessarily in that order. So here we are, the sun's dried off all the snow. A friend of mine lives up by me, bought the Chevelle and also the black Pontiac out back, so he's commissioned me to tow them to Newton for him, which I'm okay with doing on this particular day. So I got my pancake compressor. I don't ever go anywhere without this thing. And first step, blow up the tires. Second step is probably going to be to unlock the steering column so that it'll move a little easier. 69 was the first year of locking steering columns on GM cars. So this Chevelle being a 72 is something I gotta deal with. So here's the setup. Phillips screw, take your horn pad off, 3/4 inch, mine happens to be a tire tool. Take your steering wheel nut off, set up your steering wheel puller, pop your steering wheel. Then you'll see the lock plate. Put your lock plate tool on, screw that down, pick the snap ring off with the hook, let that plate release, and then you're off and steering. Alright, it's Chevelle time. All the stuff that was parked here in the way is now out of the way. So I've got my puller set up, popped the horn pad off, took the nut off with the pliers. I thought it was 3/4, but it was 7/8, so good old channel lock pliers doing its job. Got my 3/4 for this. One little twist and it pops. Usually means they've been off before. You can go rent this puller set at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. Got that wheel. Then there's 3 little Phillips screws. Pop that cover off. These early ones are steel with the screws. The later ones are plastic. You just take a knife blade and pop them off. Okay, now the purpose of that piece, I believe, is to keep you from sliding anything under that lock plate, which is the other way. If you don't have the lock plate tool, this little one with the green knob, you can actually, if you pop that wheel off, you can take this little guy as the spring tab and you can push that in with your screwdriver, and you can actually tear a pop can and slide that between there and tape it to this column around there, and that will undo your column. People laugh at me for doing that, but I mean, if you can steer the car, I did that way for a while till I realized that this wasn't like a super specialty tool, and went and bought one. I'm doing it one-handed here. You just squeeze that down, that pushes it back, and then you can see that gap between the ring. And you just take your hook set, pick that ring off, now see it's loose, and then when you release this, off it comes, put your wheel back on, you're steering, you're going. Helped the guy here get his tires up. The little compressor's making everybody's day good. Helped him get steered on. We're doing fine. Same process to get in the column, be able to steer the car, pulled it on the trailer, delivered it, no issues. Unfortunately, the T-tops had been stolen out of that car prior to the auction, so if anybody knows of a set of those around, haven't really checked eBay or anything yet, but if anybody's local and has a set, we'd sure love to know about them. I bought this 1973 Chevrolet front clip. It's from a Bel Air. It will fit the Caprice and the Impala also. Not in spectacular shape, but something like this coming on 50 years old. These parts aren't around every corner. And another great part is I got the hood too. I always end up with a few small items when I go to one of these places. This thing is old Chevy square body nylon toy. I played with the pickup version of this as a kid. Obviously, this thing is totally bereft of any collector value, completely mutilated, but to me that kind of gives it a interesting and unique character, even though it's totally worthless. Next, we got the matching turtle wax and the turtle wax upholstery cleaner. Doesn't really show on film, but every inch of this is just cool. It's got the monogrammed lid, Rust Fighter formula. Hardly see but these little ovals. It spells out turtle wax around the top and Boston there. Got the turtle with the hard shell finish and the top hat. High gloss car wax. Got the scientific formula. Then you got the little turtle drag racing decal you could send $1 for. Just every inch of it. The green glass. Obviously my favorite piece. The upholstery cleaner there. I really like this because you can actually tell the model of the car that is, which is a 1972 Chevrolet Caprice. Pretty well optioned car, got the power windows and everything. Oh yeah, happens to be a girl in there too. Next cool piece, this little remote control armored truck. Pretty cool. Relic of the probably 60s, I'm thinking, maybe 70s. Depicts a late 30s truck, so got your fanfare of the old school Bonnie and Clyde days. That was something in the 70s. You had the Untouchables came out, and then other things that people just kind of take hold of for nostalgia, and nostalgia sells everything, including toys. Last piece is this old steel dump truck. Not just an average toy. This one, you can imagine the story behind this, which obviously don't know exactly, but kind of look at an artifact like this and it tells its own story. So the story of this is that there was probably a kid somewhere whose dad worked construction, and that dad brought home some real construction decals, and either he stuck them on or the kid stuck them on. Maybe the dad switched jobs, who knows. Got some Spanish language decals there. Cool old relic. So those will go up on my shelf. A lot of this type of stuff, I like to just have a few reminders of each of these places that I've been. Something I can put up on the wall for some flair, and just interesting conversation pieces that tell the story of these videos and of the places that I've filmed around.
Like a Firebird stuff.
Yeah, looks like second gen Firebird. Somebody never finished a restoration or stripped a race car or something. All right. Mustang, Fox body. Yeah, second gen, I'm sure. No, that's Ford. That's probably like Maverick, maybe? Those aren't a functional part number, they're just, well, or...
Yeah, Maverick. Ghost there.
Ghosted emblem.
Yeah. These are the second gen.
This is Mustang, Fox body.
But this is second gen. Whoa.
Yeah, those are the second gen ones. Need to put a... You've emptied it out so much that it tips now.
Hey, Gord.
Throw a block under there. All right. Joe bought a Chevy van with a box body. He kind of bought it thinking it might be good for storage. Then turned out the back door was pretty beat up and came apart. But I kind of reassured him that something like that, these old vans of the 70s and 80s are becoming collectible, and guys are building boogie van recreations, and it's something that even for the price he paid for it, he could probably sell that back in just a few parts of it. Next vehicle he bought was this Ford Super Cab with the topper. Last vehicle he bought was the Chevelle Camino, and since I had to go down there anyway with a trailer to grab the 73 Chevy front clip, I offered to load that Chevelle for him and bring it to the rust ranch, which he was more than happy for me to do. I'm a bit late in getting this video edited, so as of this time, the El Camino has already found a buyer, but there's been many other vehicles added to the rust ranch. Since I've made other videos, you can check back at those. I'm going to be doing a rust ranch update soon, so keep an eye out for that.